Going to
big roar at Moorabbin as umpire Hood bounces the ball. Crow rucking for the Saints. Gets it away. Cunningham's hand pass to Keel is good. He breaks out of the tackle onto Cronin, who tackles McKenna there without the ball. Play's allowed to go on advantage rule taken by the Bulldogs, who go into attack through Burton. Barker, St Kilda skipper, starting on the ground. That'll do his confidence good. Not particularly good hand pass, but he follows up well. Morwood there in support. Free kick to the Saints skipper for a push after he'd hand passed the ball on. And Barker prominent, starting this match after being selected on the interchange bench.
He kicks the ball down to Cowie, won't carry so far. That's McKenna wearing the crash helmet. He's marked. Michael McKenna, he's marked on the inner wing. Footscray kicking into the slight breeze. Here's Williams. He's a clever player, gets round on his kicking foot. St Kilda player down. Wallace kicks the ball right up the full forward. Almost a mark to Crow. He's looking for it. The umpire says play on. But no, he'll take the mark in the back pocket.
Draw nasty one there. The St Kilda player on the ground was put down behind play and is in a lot of trouble as the ball is out onto the outer side. Now there's a push and it will be a Footscray infringement. McLean the culprit. Morwood taking the free quickly across to Odgers. Odgers is told to play on at centre half back. The stretcher coming out. Cronin gets a shove and will get a free. And no need to tell you who the culprit was. The St Kilda fans are doing that. Number 24 for Footscray, Wallace. Not at all appreciated, his act, by the Saints fans, and he couldn't have done it in a worse place, right in front of the social club.
It's Trevor Barker, isn't it, the St Kilda player?
Looks like it.
He was involved in that fine piece of play when he got a very poor handball away to Morwood, then had to recover himself and go into the hard ball.
Shana, the trainer, shielding his eyes there from the sun as Barker leaves the field. Cronin waiting. The kick will be taken once the stretcher leaves the ground, and this is rather silly, isn't it, that you think that the interchange could be worked when a guy goes off on a stretcher before the player goes through the gate. Mace is the player coming on for St Kilda now. Cronin takes the kick, the centre half forward, thumped out by Egan. Keel scouts. Good intercept that by Kennedy. Maud and McLean down to Hawkins, Footscray's state player. Good ball skills shown by that player. Skipper Edmund playing from behind there. Tidying up as Sewell, he puts the ball to ground. Plenty of desperation now about the Saints as Odgers comes away with it. Burns the target. Good effort by the Saints pivot.
Really fired up with Trevor Barker off the field as Byrne drives to centre half forward. Cunningham was interrupted as he went for the ball. Didn't matter, it was a shove. They play it through Foschini now. It's beautiful pass to full forward there. Oh, hip and shoulder. Foschini comes in and players are really using some physical stuff at the moment. The umpire's letting it play on. It'll clear itself. That's Cronin tackled. Number 5 there is Cunningham. Oh, and a couple of lefts and rights thrown already. It's Royal with the football.
It's pretty tough out there at the start of this encounter. Footscray 7th, St Kilda 12th. I think there was a flag at stake here. There's the kick up towards half forward. It's a beauty. Dropping back there was the big fellow in Odgers. Bit of pushing and shoving. Williams on the bottom of the pack. The Saints come away with it. Mates fumbles, but recovers pretty well. Gets it out to Burns. Going after it now is Burton for Footscray. Burns persists well. Royal, Keel on his hammer. Tackling by the Saints is good. McLean is there for Footscray. Gets it onto Edwards. Showing plenty of experience, puts Edwards. Has a couple of bounces, runs to half forward. Edmund the target. He's outnumbered about 3-1. Crow makes the mistake. The Saints defence stands firm. Now under a lot of pressure. Comes out towards Williams. At centre half forward. He's under pressure. Tremendous pressure at the start of this match. And away come the Saints again. A poor kick by Odgers across the ground. Chance for Cunningham, who slipped over at the crucial moment. This allows Brian Cordy, and he scores the first behind of the match, hitting the post. At the 4-minute mark of the first term. Gee, a lot's happened before we've had the first score.
It's breathtaking stuff, isn't it? Trying to catch up with the play, Sparky, but really a fierce opening. Ball back into play. Huffington. Outmark Edwards from the front, then plays on, floats one over the top, coming down towards the wing position. Easy mark there by Hodges. No, it's not, it's Mace. Now Mace on the wing. Oh, it's not a good kick at all. It favours Footscray. Then the bounced away. Cowie gets hold of it. An easy steal at the back of the pack by Anderson. Cut back into the centre. A lot of mistakes being made, but the pace is hectic. Here's McKenna. Goes for a long high kick up to Edmund, number 20, but there's three Saints defenders there. Alfredson has plenty of time to make up his mind what to do. Down to Tomei. He was hit out of the way by skill from Hawkins. A lot of experience and state experience there by Doug Hawkins.
Good play by Hawkins. Young Tomei has certainly been promising for the Saints in recent weeks. Hawkins just inside centre wing. Oh, magnificent kick by Hawkins. It scores, but just offline. Another behind. Would appear as if the Bulldogs going with the breeze in this first term. Their skipper, Jim Edmund, did win the toss. Brown putting the ball back into play for the Saints. Good kick to Keel in front of the Social Cup. Quick to play on. Gets it up to Cross, who fumbles at the crucial moment. But he upsets McKenna, then gets a shove. Gets it out to Mace. Mace back towards the wing end. A strong mark taken in defence by Kennedy. Kennedy in front of Cowie, who's playing at centre half forward for the Saints. Rick Kennedy to put the Bulldogs into attack. Loose play because Purse is there on his own in the centre of the ground. And Crow is the player, of course, rucking for the Saints, and he's dropping back in the goal square. Purser goes for the leading Edmund at full forward. Down to Sewell. Sewell have a quick snap at goal. Well offline. The Bulldogs fruiting away opportunities here. That's their third behind in the first 6 minutes. They lead by 3 points to nil.
Well, Graham, they could easily be 3 goals to nil at this stage because the shots haven't been so terribly difficult. Evidence that one by Jim Sewell. Paul Morwood leads out. That ball's going to bounce before they get there, and that's a kick for Footscray, and that's an error. Error by Brown, the fullback. So it's McLean with a short one up to full forward to Edmund. He didn't really go in with much confidence there either, and the ball quickly out from whence it came.
Number 49, Frawley, playing on the Bulldog skipper. Some promising young players in this St Kilda side today. Up going for the ruck there was Brown against Edwards. Edwards number 30 for Footscray, his third club. Brown number 19 for the Saints. Crow in there. Edwards over the top. Interferes with Crow. And the big Saint ruckman, Max Crow, former Essendon player, to take the free at half-back. Over the top, Purser. Quickly on to Kennedy. Kennedy in towards full forward. Good spoil. The Saints doing it well in defence. Morwood in trouble. Gets out of it well. Out to Cronin. Not favoured by the bounce, but slippery there. Burton goes to ground. Only gets it out as far as Keel. He's well tackled by Royal. There's a free to Footscray to Burton. No, not paid. He's still on the bottom of the pack. Umpire Nash to bounce in the shadows of the Huggins Social Club stand.
Well, a free kick quickly taken by Edwards. Lovely long kick right up into the goal square. Edmund, once again, not full of confidence. Sewell gets the ball back. Edmund, this time a shot. Right across the front of goal. Marked right on the kick-off line. The mark will be allowed. Telfington playing at centre half-back, but he's moving back to the full-back position as well. Kicks a long one out towards Tomei. Tomei takes it on the outer half-back flank. A St Kilda running play there in Morwood. Moves down 30 metres. Marks on the further down on the half-back flank.
Good ball by Morwood into Hodges near the centre of the ground. And the way the Saints are playing the ball short, it does appear as if the breeze might be quite strong on the ground. Hodges this time a little longer towards centre half forward. Oh, Terry Smith. Great mark over the top. The St Kilda forward line open. The lead will come from two ways. Side bottom and Lockett. Look at this side bottom. Chance, he's got it. Oh, good play. Lockett went one way, side bottom the other. Interesting tactics that they both let out of the goal square, and side bottom the target, took the mark about 45 metres out from goal. As you can see, about a 45-degree angle. Just across the face of goal. Fisted away. Lockett on the bottom of the pack. Keel goes after it. Umpire Hood to bounce no more than 10 metres out from St Kilda's goal. Certainly their most dangerous forward move so far. The 10-minute mark of the first term. Footscray lead by 3 points to 0.
Right on the St Kilda goal square there. That's Percy getting up high. Knocked the ball out of play. And all St Kilda need at this moment is one straight kick for one goal, and they'll take the lead. Footscray really have frittered away their opportunities with 3 behinds from relatively easy shots. Side bottom, the ruckman chipped out of the pack very quickly. Crow, too long for him. Footscray's hawking with a piece of nice play there, quickly across towards Wallace. Wallace brings the ball to the inside of the ground now to a lead there from Edmund. Easily knocked away by Alphingston. Steve McPherson, nice pass. Great stuff there, beautiful lead from Sewell. That ball came to him like a rocket, and Sewell will kick from about 55 metres out, and Footscray with all the scores on the board, be it only 3 behinds, but a big chance for Sewell to kick the first major of the match. Just about right on for distance and accuracy. And that's the first goal. So Sewell has kicked 1 goal, 1. Footscray are 9 points. St Kilda yet to open their account.
And that set up by the great play by Hawkins. His skill at moving the ball from the fence, first class. And already he's putting his stamp on this match. Footscray state representative playing in the centre. Umpire Hood wanting Royal and Fashini to move away a little from the circle. Crow again getting the tap out to Cowie. Cowie quickly onto Big Crow. He'll go straight down the ground. Not a good kick. Lockett's got 2 to beat and can't. Good effort that by Cordy. That's Neil Cordy, who's been posted in defence with the job of minding Lockett. He finds Kennedy at centre half back, or the centre half back and half back. Cronin hanging on will be penalised 15 metres. Kennedy straight down the ground towards centre half forward. Edmund the target. Elphington gave him a shove. Edmund comes over the top of Maud to take the mark. Footscray forwards running around in circles at the moment. Edmund fancies his chances from the edge of the square. Will make the distance but hasn't got the accuracy. Footscray at 1-4, which is 10. St Kilda hasn't scored. 12 minutes have been played in this first term. Perhaps wasting opportunities as they've had all the play, Jeff.
Well, they certainly had a lot of play. Yeah, well, they have had most of it, I guess, when that kick was a long one out towards Frawley. Looking for Tomei, but Hawkins showing a lot of skill. He started as a youngster and as a champion when he came to Footscray, and he's had his share of injury problems over the last couple of years, but he is a champion player, and he did play well on the night game in Adelaide on Tuesday night. Jostling there by the ruckman. That's Royal 33. Attacking Terry Smith for St Kilda. And the ball up on the outer side. 40 minutes of play gone. 10. Footscray 0 for the Saints. Tap out by Purser. St Kilda trying to ruck to his, or row to his ruck work at this stage. And Fashini looks as though he's a bit out of gas.
Looks like it might be an elbow. He fell very awkwardly. He's in a lot of pain, Silvio Fashini, outside the boundary line. Hanging on, there's Fashini being attended to by a trainer. Elbow or shoulder. And it's a St Kilda free kick. Another call for the bench. So that's tragedy for the Saints. 2 bad injuries in the first quarter. Trip. Free kick to Cunningham. Quickly on to Smith. Good spoil. With it, cross come through. He's well shepherded for by Cronin. Up towards Cordy and Lockett. McLean staying down, and Anderson's going to get a free. Tackle without the ball. Anderson out of defence for Footscray. Oops, Sadaji breaks the tackle from Cunningham. Calmly does it. Out to Wallace and Burns. Oops. Strong effort by Burns. Side bottom falls on it. Wallace and Crow. Only as far as Brian Cordy. Ball Footscray here. Royal can score from here. And does, but it's only another behind. 1-5 now to Footscray. The Saints still to score, and the St Kilda club doctor sprinting across the ground to go and see Silvio Fascini, attended there by 2 trainers and the Saints runner.
Meanwhile, the ball back into play, and Smith marks a kick-off from Brown. Terry Smith showing a lot of agility this time. Down to Cowie. Cowie with Kennedy. And Kennedy's given him an extra 15 metres. Now Brian, or Neil Cordy rather, looking after Tony Lockett. The ball coming down to the half-forward flank position. Lovely mark there by Cunningham. He really, geez, a big player this year. He looks like a mini ruckman. The kick is not a good one as it comes in. It's grabbed there by Purser. But Cunningham looked strong there as he came in to meet that ball. The Purser goes with a poor piece of handball. Oh, and it bounced in front of Cordy, and he's met solidly by Lockett. Free kick against Lockett for going in when Cordy really got rid of the ball. And quite a few things happening here in this first term. Barker off the ground, Fascini in a lot of bother. It's Neil Cordy now towards Williams, knocked away by Mace, and Kilda tapping the ball out, but there's no running players around the pack at the moment. That's Burton. Oh, stood his ground, it was Mace.
Indiscriminate jump from the back there by skipper Edmund. Mace, a good ball out to Tomei, and he finds him. McLean climbs all over him. Tomei with the mark. On the grandstand wing by Gigo. There's some ferocity about the Bulldogs tackling. Not a good kick in towards the centre, but knocked on. Chance for Cowie, who gets it out to Keel. His hand pass intercepted by Kennedy. Back towards McLean. Bouncing ball in front of the Social Club. He's pushed over the line by Mace. Good effort. The Saints doing it pretty well against the breeze. They haven't scored, but they've kept Footscray so far to 11 points at the 16.5-minute mark of this first quarter.
Footscray's tackling is the same as it was against Essendon last week, as McKenna threads his way through, finds a ruckman Purser in the centre of the field and kicks a long one right out to Sewell. Sewell muffed that one, taken from him. Handball coming into Hodges. Hodges kicked now a long one to Cowie, the tall player, 10.5 forward. He'd marked that ball before he was crunched by Anderson. And Cowie takes the free ball across to Cunningham. A long kick now down towards Lockett, but I didn't even carry to Lockett. An easy mark to Purser. Then back to Neil Cordy. Up to the wing, too long there. St Kilda's ball at this stage. Oh, and that was put out. It was put out by Hodges. And I reckon he put it out deliberately, but he's getting a free kick because McPherson hit him in the face.
Yeah, right in front of the St Kilda stand. There's the kick towards half forward, and a great effort by Cowie. And star Footscray centre man Doug Hawkins left the ground just a few moments ago with what looked like a fairly nasty leg injury. Lund, the interchange player, on the ground. There's Sidebottom, he's got it! At centre half forward, good lead by Sidebottom. And he may be just a bit too far out to score. You can see he's gone back across the centre square line. The Saints into the breeze in this first term. Second good lead and mark in this opening quarter. Spirited opening here at Moorabbin by bottom side St Kilda and final 5 contenders Footscray. There's the kick by Sidebottom. Just not quite going to make it. Fisted through for the first score for St Kilda, a behind, and it's come at the 18.5-minute mark of the first term. So Footscray 11, leads St Kilda 1, the margin 10 points.
Well, Egan is the Footscray player to boot the ball out. A little bit of pushing and shoving there. The umpire's really not to see it. Oh, pick up by Sidebottom is very neat. Jenkins. It's only one kick, one goal.
Just on the ground for Fascini, Jeff. What a great bit of play by Sidebottom.
He's starring. He's using his extra height and his wonderful mobility of running around the ground to pick up that. He's marking well, getting a loose ball, and he spun out of trouble beautifully then.
So a handy goal for St Kilda against the breeze. And they trail by just 4 points now at the 20-minute mark. As Crow dominating at that centre bounce, gets the knock away. High, McLean the opportunity here for Footscray. Not favoured by the bounce. In comes Cronin to put him under pressure. The ball curls back, McPherson in front, and he marks strongly. Hodges there, his opponent. Lund the target, the interchange player. Moore with the spoiler. Williams gets a nice run at it. Gets around 1, gets around 2. Bit far with his hand pass for Royal. Royal cleverly back to Lund. He centres short, over the head of his skipper Edmund. Maud gets a bad bounce. Elphingston to tidy up. Oh, he does it beautifully. Crashes his way out of defence. Looks for Cunningham. Spoiled by Brian Cordy. Cunningham goes after it. Does it well. Gets a hand pass away. Persistence by the Bulldogs. Edmund right up the ground now. Out to Wallace. Blue behind play. Cunningham taking on two. Wallace kicks into a nest of St Kilda players. And a Footscray player down. Lunn and Cunningham having a do. As the ball comes out to Terry Smith, who takes a splendid mark. Long one on to Keel. Keel back to Smith. Into Elphingston. They're fiddling around a bit. He's in trouble. Still in trouble. But he gets it out to Burns. Oh, he took that too easily. But Burns can drive it deep into attack for the Saints. Young Cross has got it. He's off. Great play. Fires at the goal. Side bottom and Dunn. And Emmett Dunn outpoints side bottom on that occasion. Lowered Paul Salmon's colours last week. Side bottom's had the better of him so far. But Dunn this time taking the strong mark in the last line of defence.
Well, he's going to kick the ball, or he was going to kick it out that way, and he's befuddled them all, but he'll have to go back and kick across his mark, and the umpires are insistent upon this, particularly this season. So Dunn will have to kick the ball out on that flank, and it's going very close to the boundary line. Right there by Neil Cordy. Now Cordy's run a long way, and he's carried the ball right back into the back pocket. It's his fourth kick. Up to the wing to McKenna. It's McKenna and Terry Smith for St Kilda, but McKenna with a bit more skill spun around there, kicks the ball up the flank. It's not a good delivery at all. Here's Lunn now. Lunn's chipping towards centre half forward. He found Edmund, and Edmund's just about touch and go for distance. He's not going to try. He's kicking the ball to a lead from Edwards. Edwards was caught flat-footed then. The ball knocked away from him, and out of play, Footscray's forward pocket.
Oh, Jingo, there's been some tough passages of play in this first term.
I said the St Kilda run around having a talk to Cunningham.
And to May it was too, as Crow gets the knockout. Keel cleverly on there to Odgers. He gets a shove and the free kick in the back pocket.
Oh!
Burns just put McLean down. McLean evens up. By Jingo, she'll be rough and tough by the end of the day. Here's McLean doing it pretty well to get it out to McPherson, who gives it on to McKenna. McKenna goes short. Too far for Lunn. This will allow Elphingston in. What a fine player this boy is. He's beautifully shepherded for. Drives it to half forward, and he's found a teammate. It's Cunningham. That'll be nearly 15 metres. He's off. Short in towards Smith, who's got nice hands. That's about his third mark in this first term. Terry Smith, fourth in fact. Premiership player for the Tigers in 1980. In towards full forward, not enough space, and the Footscray defence standing firm. This time it's Neil Cordy, Brian Cordy rather, number 49. Getting it out to McPherson. Showing plenty of skill, looks for McKenna and finds him. McKenna quickly onto Brian Cordy again. Cordy up towards centre half forward, and Mace, who came on in the first term as an interchange player when Barker was KO'd, doing well at half back. In short, good ball to Tomei. Crow was looking for it. So's Elphingston now, and that's where it's going, out to Elphingston, who's come right down towards half forward, the big fellow from defence. And he's had 7 kicks so far in this first term, Robert Elphingston. Wanting a bit of mobility up forward, he's not getting it, now he does. Side bottom leads again, thumped away by Dunn. There's the Saints goal scorer Frawley, but Egan tidies up. Clever kick to Edmund in the centre of the ground. Footscray go forward. Edwards the target. Good intercept by Odgers. Crashed over Royal. Cleverly on to Sewell. Second goal for Jimmy Sewell and second goal for Footscray. A little bit of inexperience by the Saints in defence there, as two St Kilda backmen crashed into one another, and Sewell did the rest after receiving the hand pass from Royal.
Well, we've noticed in this first quarter with a very fiery opening, Footscray's tackling has been absolutely the fiercest I've seen of them from a long time. But St Kilda haven't been behind the door either. They've come out and they've retaliated very strongly indeed. So Footscray are thinking a little bit more about tackling indiscriminately at this stage on the Saints. They're right into it. It's Footscray 17 to St Kilda 7. Barker and Fashini off the field for St Kilda. Oh, nice bounce there by Williams. Williams a lobing one across towards Burton. Burton got his kick in before he was tackled, but it's St Kilda up there, and there's a wall of defenders there. Unfortunately, he's run the ball out, and that's Frawley. A throw in Footscray's forward pocket at the 25-minute mark on his first term.
Bulldogs lead by 10 points. We enter time on. Out towards Royal, a danger player. Oh, he ran the ball out of bounds. Boundary umpire said he didn't. There'll be a free kick against Royal for taking too long. Great tackle by Mace, but it did look for all the world as if he carried the ball over the line. Mace for his 5th kick since coming on. Barker carried off on a stretcher. KO'd behind play. Crow spoils Purser. Down to McKenna. Cleverly onto Burton. Beautifully tackled by Cronin. Brown. Royal tries to take it off him. Umpire Hood will bounce in the left forward pocket for Footscray.
Locking of arms, etc. Then Crow with much longer arms will go back and take this show in. Side bottoms there as well if needed. Reversing Sewell. Side bottom with clever play. He looked for Crow. Crow will have to kick quickly. He doesn't. He goes for a run there for on that back line. It's Cronin's. Cronin's kick or pass is not a good one. Kennedy used weight then. Cronin gets it. Tries to fend off Emma Dunn. Dunn with the ball now. Back to Kennedy. And a long clearing kick this time. Up to the forward pocket. Oops, it's Hodges in front there who's taken that mark.
Good effort by Hodges, who's defended well. He goes across the ground. Elphingston calling for it and finds him. Always a risk with those passes across the face of goal, but plenty of confidence in the player. On towards Brown, coming down the ground. They're running well, the young players out of defence for St Kilda. Brown onto Frawley. Frawley to half forward looking for Cunningham. Couldn't hold it. Anderson for Footscray out of defence with the socks down. Long, that's a good kick. Good spoil by Mace. Oh, great effort. Sewell was sitting back thinking he had it, but Mace took it away from him and did it well. Keel this time. It's a bit far for him, and big Purser's there at the back to take the mark for the Bulldogs. Oh, Mace crashed into a Footscray player, went unpenalised, and the ball is out of bounds at right half forward. The Bulldogs leading by 10 points, 27-minute mark of the first quarter at Moorabbin.
Well, it's back on Footscray's forward line for the throw-in. And it's Frawley and Edwards to take it. Edwards for Footscray, gets a tap from the back position. The siren is gone. Rough and tough first quarter with plenty of incidents. Trevor Barker off the field for St Kilda, as is Fashini. Hawkins off the field for Footscray. Footscray 2-5-17, St Kilda 1-1-7.
Thank you, Sir James.
Jimmy.